What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey y'all, come on in, come on in, come on in. Happy Saturday, or as I like to refer to today, Juneteenth 2.0. Because listen, I grew up just like most people. I can't say every black person, but most of us grew up celebrating the 4th of July. That's just what we did. Okay. So, I mean, do I still acknowledge and celebrate the 4th of July? No. But will I go to a cookout and have me a hamburger or two? Yes. Am I going to play some cards later on today? I sure am. Am I going to go watch some fireworks? Sure, why not? Because my uncle, he goes and he gets the big fireworks. And they shoot up in the sky just like the real fireworks. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm going to wait till the sun go down because it's 100 degrees outside. And, yeah, I'm going to go with my best friend's house and we're going to have we're going to play some beer whiz. We're going to talk some shit. We're going to eat some vittles. We're going to watch the stuff fold up in the sky, and then I'm going to come on back home. I mean, that's what we're going to do. I tell you what I'm not doing today, though. I won't be drinking. Usually on the 4th of July, I might grab me a little burr or two. Cookout is good burr weather. I'm not doing none of that today. It's going to be water. Lots of ice. Yep. Matter of fact, I'm taking my Stanley with me. I'm not even playing with these people today. I'm taking it with me. Okay. I'm gonna fill this up with ice. I ain't gonna put no water in it. I'm just gonna fill it up with ice before I leave out of here. But anyway, I say all that to say this, y'all. Listen, I know that we as black people have gotten a new consciousness, but you can go still and enjoy yourself on the 4th of July. Hell, we still enjoy ourselves on Thanksgiving. I mean, that was all about slaughtering the Native Americans. Anyway, don't get me started. Let me get back to this. We are here for Raising Kanan. Baby, I was about to go down a whole nother left side. Well, for the people who don't watch Power, I appreciate y'all for being here for my reviews, honey. Let's get into it. I'm sorry, y'all. I wasted a few minutes, but y'all come on in here. This was a really good episode of Power of Raising Kanan. Last week, I told y'all I was a little underwhelmed by last week's episode, but this week's episode, I'm here for it. I am here. You want to know how to play Bill Wiz? Cheryl, I'm gonna have to invite you. I'm gonna have to invite you over to hang out with my family because we'll teach anybody how to play Bill Wiz. If you can play spades, you can play Bill Wiz, and if you don't play spades, we can still teach you. But if you know how to play spades, it's just easier. It's like going from. I tell people, if you know how to play checkers, it's easy to learn how to play chess. Because you understand the concept of the game already. Chess just adds another layer of strategy and stuff like that for me. And I feel like it's the same way with spades. If you know how to play spades, you understand the concept of bid whiz. Bid whiz just takes it up another notch where you can actually choose your. If you're not, Shirley, if you can play spades, you can play bid whiz. The biggest difference is in bid whiz, you choose your trump. Spades isn't always trump. You get to choose your trump. You bid on your hand. And if you win the bid, you get to choose your trump. Okay. But we'll teach you. I'll invite you next time. Matter of fact, hell, if you want to come today, if you feel like driving across the city and come today, I'll give you the address. You can meet me over there today if you want to. But we're definitely gonna play some bid whiz. But like I said, I ain't going nowhere before. I'm probably not leaving my house before 6:30. So anyway, let's get into this trip. We got a triple header. We're gonna do Raising Kanan, then we're gonna go straight into Bell Collective, and then we're gonna go into Next Gen NYC. Why? Because I'm home, okay? Ain't doing nothing else. You the best at Bill Wiz? Well, come on. I have to see you play first before I let you be my partner. I can't just let any old body be my partner. I got to let you play first. But Shirley, if you feel like driving to Northeast DC from your house, you feel like coming, you can come on over today. I'll give you the address. Listen, it's the more the merrier. So, Raising Kanan, this episode, a lot happened. I hope y'all paid attention to all the Easter eggs that they dropped in this episode because it was a lot that was there. And it also gives me a lot of theories. So, let's get into the episode. So, first of all, we start this episode off. We see that Breeze and Kanan have the, Lord, I can't get it out of my head. They have the The corner's up and running. Lord have mercy. They making money on top of money on top of money. Again, we see they got the corners working. We see Kanan, was just like, yeah, we doing this. I'm not sure where we're going with this Marvin storyline. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rewind. While Kanan was out there, looking over his work and smiling about his corners, Taz rolls up on him again and basically punks him in front of everybody. Now, I'm going to be honest, because I already knew how this story was going to end, I didn't feel like Taz punked him. But if I were one of the workers sitting out there on the corner watching this whole thing play out, in my mind, I'd have been like, he just punked this dude. Like, he really just punked this nigga. You know what I'm saying? But because I already knew how this story was going to end before we even got to the end, and I was like, Taz, you really just writing your death certificate. Like, you really B said that y'all didn't offer him a kidney. Girl, what you talking about? Miss Pretty Amazing, what you talking about? Who offered who a kidney? What y'all talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, baby. Because y'all gotta remind me. Sometimes I be saying stuff and it come out, I don't be knowing what I'm saying. So you gotta remind me what you talking about, baby. So again, I just, in that moment, I felt like, Taz, you really just writing your death certificate. Like, you really just putting it all on the line and you writing your death certificate. And at the end of the day, I don't know what to tell you, bruh. Next we see Marvin talking to, thank you, Mamiana. Thank you, boo. Thank you. She said, baby Liz, we're going to get you to that 20K. She said, I made another YouTube page so I can subscribe again. I love y'all. T said you didn't offer him one of your kidneys. He said, see, I didn't. Oh, you said T said. Okay, I didn't know what you were talking about. Baby, don't make me have to go get T. Don't make me have to go get T. I'm about to go get T. T is a fool. That's my boo. That's my baby bro. That's my boo right there. But I'm gonna go cuss him out there. And I'm gonna tell him, I said, the people snitched, the people that came over here and told me what you said. Oh, I get it now. Really BT said, okay, got you. I was reading the Really BT. I thought you just forgot the V part. I thought it was Really BTV. Okay, I got you now, pretty as May. I got you now, girl. Who this calling me? Oh, I don't know nobody from that number. No, ma'am. I said that's a big ask, right? If I could give him a kidney, I would. I don't think I can. Because my daddy needed a kidney and the doctors were like, we can't. But at the time, that's when I had just got out the hospital myself. I don't know if I could give him a kidney. John, thank you, bro. Big bro. I got your birthday gift. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you. Hopefully I'm gonna see you in November, and hopefully I'm gonna see you on this cruise. Sir, hit me up and let me know if you interested and you still trying to go on this cruise, honey. Let me know, bruh. He said you drink too much anyway, so he ain't told no lies. Maybe he ain't told no lies. So I don't know where we're going with this whole Marvin situation. Like Marvin talking to the priest, and the priest knows. I mean, not priest. He ain't a priest. The pastor, and he absolutely knows who Marvin is and what Marvin does. Like he gets it. He's not stupid. He knows who the Thomas family is. He knows what they're doing, and I'm not sure where we're going with this. This is like the third episode in a row where we've seen Marvin talking to the pastor, like spilling his feelings. Like he really doesn't know what to do with these feelings over Lou dying. And I think he's more upset about Lou than his mom. But you got to remember they had back-to-back deaths. Like their mom died and then Lou died, and I don't think he knows what to do with it. And he doesn't have anybody to talk to because Rock ain't giving him nothing. Rock, and we know why. We know why Rock's not giving him anything, but Rock's not giving him anything. And then of course, Juke, you know, he can't really put that on Juke. So he doesn't have an outlet. He really don't have no friends. You know, he doesn't have anywhere to put it. And so we see him talking to the pastor, but I'm just not sure if this is going to become part of a bigger storyline. I don't know. I just don't know if this is going to become a thing. Then we see Rock talking to Joaquin. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Basically, she's letting him know, look, I'm up and running. I'm flush. I'm ready for the product. I'm moving it. I'm in Manhattan now. And he's telling her, look, Manhattan is shaky ground. Like the prices flux. You know, the prices go up, they go down. He was like, it's really not no solid ground over there. He said, and he even said Manhattan is saturated. And she was like, what you talking about? She was like, Manhattan is full of people that's willing to pay whatever. He said, as long as my product is good, people, they willing to pay. So, like, don't you worry about that. I got it. Are we back in business or what? And you could tell that he's a little nervous, you know. He was like, look, I told you when I put you in connection with my connect that wasn't nothing to play with. Like, I told you they not nobody to play with, and that you needed to make sure all your ducks were in a row before you even went down that road. And you kind of wasn't really ready. Well, you were, but you weren't kind of situation. So you can see he's a little nervous, but at the end of the day, money talks, bullshit walks kind of thing. Then we see, I think Marvin is about to be unalived. I think they're setting up a scene for it to happen. Yeah, I had told y'all that I thought my theory was that I thought Marvin was going to go to jail. But number one, now that I realized that we only have 8 episodes instead of 10 episodes, we don't have as much time as I thought we had. So it does, you know, us already being on episode 4, we only have 4 more episodes left. It does seem like, I already told y'all that I don't think Marvin or Rock make it out. I thought Marvin was going to go to jail. Rock, I definitely don't think she makes it out. Now, I think she's going to take some people out with her before she go. But I don't think, I would be shocked if Rock makes it out. I would just be, now, would I be mad if Rock makes it out? No, I kind of wouldn't be. Because I would love to see an older version of Rock make an appearance on Legacy with Tommy and the boy. I'm not going to tell y'all no lies. I would love to see that. I would love to see the writers give us, I don't want her to be a main character. I do not want her to come back. I don't want her to be like Raquel, but I would love to see, you know, like, you know, some gray hair, you know, add a little makeup to Patina Miller. I would love to see her still puffing on her little cigarette, honey. And maybe, you know, maybe she living a good life out in the country somewhere or something. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I just don't think we are. I just don't think that's the road we going down. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be mad about it. Anyway. But yeah, I agree. I think they setting us up. But those of us who watch this should be okay with that. Like, I don't think. Okay, oh, Jonathan, I'm excited. Yes. But I don't think that I don't know. I don't think any of us should be surprised if the only people from the Thomas family that make it out are the 2 people that we know make it out, which is Kanan and Jude. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going. So then we see speaking of Jukebox, we see Jukebox is getting herself in a trick bag, which is exactly what I said last week. I was like, and later on in this episode, we see a conversation between her and Marvin basically told her the same thing I said last week. Marvin was like, first of all, why are you playing games with the police? Let me rewind. She don't have all this man's money. And he basically tells her, like, he was like, look, when I agreed to take this money from you, I already crossed the line of no return. Like, I can't go back on the other side of this line because I done already made a deal with the devil. And now you are not keeping up your end of the bargain. He was like, don't play with me because you're not going to like how this ends. He was like, give me my money. oh, I'm dropping the ball on all this shit. Basically, I'm gonna blow all of this up. Give me my money. So again, and I'm gonna just go ahead and jump to that conversation when she goes to Marvin to talk to Marvin about talking to the detective, and he was like, what are you talking to the police about? Like, why are you doing that? And she was like, well, I think he could be useful, boom, 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 boom. And Marvin is like, okay. She said, well, I kind of, agreed to give him some money, but I'm kind of short. And she was like, you think you can loan it to me until I get it? He was like, whoa. He was like, yeah, nah, you got to figure that out on your own. He was like, because you made that deal. I don't have nothing to do with that. I didn't make that deal. I wasn't a part of that conversation. So yeah, nah, you figure that out, because, you opened up that can of worms, player. I can't do nothing for you. And I'm not mad at Marvin. I'm really not mad at Marvin, because at the end of the day, I know Marvin is making her figure it out, but I also know Marvin isn't going to leave her hanging. Like, if she really gets stuck, I believe Marvin will be there and have her back. So I'm not worried about it like that. But I think he's like, look, you created this situation. You made this deal. He was like, it's not my debt. It's not my problem. And I agree with him 100%, because that was some stupid shit that you did. And you did it without talking to him or Rock. And again, I get it. You mad at Rock right now. You think Rock did some old shiesty shit. But at the end of the day, the person to talk to would have been Rock. And I feel like 2 years ago or 2 seasons ago, I feel like she would have went to Rock and said, yo, this cop is dogging me. Boom, boom, boom. But I also feel like Marvin is handling it right for the line of work that they're in. Let me say that, because he's making her figure it out. And I think this is going to make her a better criminal, if that makes sense. I don't know how to word that, but yeah, it was a stupid move. But I'm not mad at Marvin for telling her, yeah, no, I'm not. You're going to have to figure that out. But I think in the back of his mind, Marvin got her back. Like, he's not going to let that detective do nothing to Juke. Like, he's not going to let that happen. But I also think he wants to see how she going to figure it out, how she going to handle it. And I also think there's a part of Marvin, because Marvin's not stupid. Marvin is impulsive, but he's not dumb. He makes stupid decisions, but he's not, I don't know how to explain that. But I also think Marvin has connected the dots and realized, oh, this is why you was ready to come work. This is why you was this is why you came to me for a job, because you needed this money. Like, I don't think he's stupid in connecting those dots. Flossie is the one to be afraid of. Erica, I agree. I agree. Flossie is dangerous. And after we see what happens in this episode, like, Rock, I don't know, Rock. And that might be how Rock go out. Like, Rock might not go out by the hands of none of these men. It might be Flossie that take her out. You know what I'm saying? But I absolutely believe that Flossie is the one to be afraid of, because Flossie got a story and we don't know her whole story and we don't know the connection. I do believe, and again, we only have 4 more episodes, so I don't know how deep the writers are going to go into this, but I do believe there's a story there with her daughter dying. Don't know what the story is. Don't know how her daughter died, but I believe there's a story there. And I'm just not sure. What the story is or how the story is connected. All right. So, Rock drops off her money to her mafioso connect down to the what's his name, Ricardo. I low-key want a Flossie spin-off. Now, I don't want one. Not yet. She hasn't interested me enough to want to spin off from her. Not yet. I'll see how the season ends, but no. I want a Pops and Snaps prequel. And when we get to the end of this episode, I want it even more now than I did before. And we're going to get to that in a minute. So she drops it off to her connect down to the Manhattan. She drops the money off. And he was like, yo, business is good. And he said, listen, I need you to go talk to Sal. Now, y'all, not Sal. So y'all let me call that man Sal all last episode. My whole review, I was calling Tony Danza's character Sal. And it's not Sal. It's, what's that man's name? It starts with an S, though. It does start with an S, but it's not Sal. But anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about, Tony Danza, child. He said, look, I need you to go down there. I need you to go down there. And I need you to make nice with him. Like, I need you to go figure this out. I need y'all to work it out. I need y'all to shake hands. He said, because at the end of the day, he's making noise. Like, you hurt his little feelings, and he's making noise. Stefano, thank you. I called that man Sal. Y'all let me call that man Sal all last episode. Okay? Well, I appreciate that, Nubia. Nubia said, girl, we knew what you meant. Y'all know I be fucking these names up. I really don't be trying to, though. I really don't. In my mind, I'm right until y'all tell me I'm wrong. I know. But he said, we know what you meant, girl. But yeah. And I told y'all before, this is why last week I lost all respect for Stefano last week, because I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, in my mind, I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, and Rock, let me finish with my thought. Rock told him, like, look, what are you talking about? Like, he did this. I didn't cut off the business. He cut off the business. Like, how he mad at me? Because at the end of the day, you hurt his little feelings because he really thought he had your ass over a barrel. He really thought that you weren't going to be smart enough as a woman, much less a black woman. You weren't going to be smart enough to figure out a way around him and still make your money. So now you got his little fucking feelings hurt, right? So Rock was like, fine, whatever, fuck it. So she goes to talk to Stefano. She goes to talk to Stefano, and Stefano basically tells her, like, look, you know, you walked away, you did this, you did that. She was like, what are you talking about? I came to you. You didn't want to work with me anymore, remember? Remember, you said I was bringing too much heat. I was bringing too much drama. So you didn't want to work with me anymore. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to get paid. I'm still going to find a way to work. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not going to go sit down and cry into my pillow. I'm going to figure out a way to make this thing work. So then he was like, well, you know, you can make me feel better by giving me a little piece. So you mean to tell me you didn't want to work with me? You basically told me you didn't want to work with me. Told me that I couldn't work in Queens. Like, if I worked in Queens, you was going to take me down. And now that I found a way to work around you, you still want a piece? Yeah, absolutely not. Now, I was with Rock on this one. My only problem, Rock, I don't understand. I don't understand why you did what you did. We're going to get to that in a second. But we'll just go ahead and get to it now. You told Marvin about the problem with Stefano, and basically y'all both decided that y'all had to take Stefano out. You go and get outside work to handle it. And I understand why you did it. I do and I don't. You went and you got some white boys because you didn't want it to come back to you. You didn't want it to connect back to you. I get that. But I don't know. Something about that situation I didn't like. We'll get to it. We'll get to the Memphis boys coming in town. I ain't like it because I didn't feel like the way it went down was realistic. It didn't make sense to me, but we'll get to that in a second. So one of Breeze's boys comes to Breeze and tells Breeze, look, I don't know if you know or not, but Taz rolled up on Kanan down on the corner and tried to press him out. You know, he did it publicly. He did it in front of everybody. And basically he letting Breeze know he punked him. Like, he punked Kanan. And like you need to do something about your boy. He a little unhinged. So Breeze's response is he goes to Kanan and he lets Kanan know that Taz came up short. Now, I'm going to be honest and tell y'all, in that moment, I didn't believe that Kanan believed it. Like, I believe that in that moment, Kanan was like, yeah, Taz ain't come up short. You just want me to go take care of it. Like, basically, he was like, you want me to go tighten them up. That's what you want me to go do. And Breeze was like, gotta handle your business. Again, I knew in that moment, that it's so did Kanan. Kanan knew this wasn't no, oh, just go tighten him up kind of thing. Like, Kanan knew it was deeper. But anyway, so Stefano felt betrayed by Rock and Marvin, and he's bent on making her pay. Yeah, this is deeper than, oh, you fucked up the drug situation fell apart. You're right. He definitely feels like she betrayed him. And again, I also think it's just that the audacity of these, So Kanan is linked up with old girl. And yes, we do find out that is Kanan's baby mama. When later on in the episode, when she actually says her name, yes, that is Kanan's baby mama. And the timeline actually does match up, because this was supposed to take place in like 1992. So let's say she gets pregnant around this time. Let's say within 1992/1993-ish. You fast forward 20 years. You know what I'm saying? That takes us to 2013. I don't know when Original Power came out. I could Google it. I'm sure it's a quick Google search. But that's about right. You know what I'm saying? That's about right. The timeline absolutely links up. And then it makes even more sense, because y'all remember if you go back to OG Power, when Kanan killed Sean, he said, I don't even know if you mind. Well, that makes sense, because his mama was a hooker, a prostitute. So that makes sense. All of that lines up. Again, so that dot has been connected. But we see that he's working her. We see that he's pumping information, and she freely giving it. I'm like, I ain't never seen. What is wrong with these people? She is telling Kanan all of the business. Telling him the who, the what, the when, the where. She telling him where she picked the drugs up, where the club is located. Like, she is giving him everything. Ma'am, this man is a trick. And I get it that, you feeling him because he's not your normal trick. I get it that's not your normal trick. He's younger. He's not no old, fat, white man. Like, I get it. But, girl, you done gave this man everything. And then, he into some bullshit. He is. He ain't working on Wall Street making the money he making. I was like, but we do find out that she did go to college, and she has a college degree, but she's got a brother with special needs. I think she said her grandmother is in rehab, or her mother's in rehab. So she has a real need for the money, and she's probably not as street smart as your average prostitute. But you should be smart enough to understand that you keep didn't they tell y'all to keep y'all mouth shut and don't tell nobody nothing? Like, I feel like that's what they said. I feel like that was part of Marvin's speech. Wasn't Marvin's speech very clear to say, don't tell nobody shit? Flossie said that Jarita was one of her smartest girls. She was wrong on that one. Right. She was smart, wrong as hell. She was wrong as hell. Wrong as hell. And Jarita is her street name. Remember when she said, you don't even know my real name? And when she said her name, again, it's from my, So Kanan is like, spend the day with me. Don't go to your little job. Spend the day with me. And again, I have to say, it's not that easy. Like, this not no, you work at McDonald's, you're going to call out and spend the day with your boyfriend type shit. Ma'am, you have people waiting on the pickups and deliveries. Like, And I'm sure that these people in Manhattan are paying top shelf for the delivery service. You better not be late with my And I don't think you got too many times to be a no-show when you running drugs. Like, I mean, I call me crazy. Call me crazy. But I feel like you ain't got too many times to call off when you running dope. I'm just saying. Especially when Marvin is your boss. I'm just saying. Especially when Marvin is your boss. Tanaya is her street name. Jarita is her real name. Okay, thank you, Jazzy. Thank you, boo. Thank you. So Kanan ends up taking her shopping, and she gets upset. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't understand why she got mad. I was confusion in this moment because my thing was, girl, what did y'all think was going to happen? Like, the man told you to call off work, and he enticed you to call off work because he was basically giving you money. He took you to this shop where you had to know walking in the door the shit was out of your price range. He said, whatever she want, I'm paying for. I'm sorry, what did you think was happening? I was confusion in that moment. Or maybe it was a situation where she thought she was cool with it until she was there, and then she realized, yeah, I don't want no parts of this. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't understand. Like, I was a little confusion. I mean, that was like the equivalent of you meet a dude, like, I'm just gonna put it on today's level. You know what I'm saying? That's like the man, he's selling drugs, he's selling dope. And he's like, look, let's spend the day with me. When y'all pulled up at the shop, at the Louis Vuitton store, at the Chanel store, at the whatever, the Nordstrom, whatever. And he said, whatever she wanted on me. Girl, what did you think was like? I was a little confusion, if I'm being honest. I was a little confusion. Anyway, so yeah, she was telling kind of way too easily. Like, if nothing else, even if you don't call yourself protecting Flossie, if nothing else, protect yourself. He could have been a cop. Like, you didn't know this dude. Because I would have been thinking he was a cop before anything else. Like, that man could have been a cop. Jada got mad because she felt like Kanan was treating her like a lady of the evening. And I hear you, Erica, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you knew that. Like, and again, maybe it was a situation where she thought she was cool with it until she got in it and realized, oh, I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we think we cool with something until we get in the middle of it, and then we like, oh, yeah, this probably wasn't a good decision. And that's what I feel like it was. I feel like she thought she could do it until she got into it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's me. I don't know. But I hear you. I hear you. But that's how I was feeling. So Marvin goes and picks up the Memphis boys from the bus station. It's 3 white dudes, and they look straight out of wherever. I mean, they look straight hillbilly / cowboy / whatever. Now, I don't understand this whole scenario. Number one, Marvin did not pick them up in his real car. That was very smart of you, Marvin, that you went and got you a little bootleg Camry situation. No problem. My grandmother had that body style Camry. At one point in time, like 5 people in my family had Camrys. I love a Camry. Listen, I had like 4 Camrys. I literally had 4 Camrys. I had 3 different body styles and 4 Camrys. And I loved my Camry. I love the car I have now, but I loved my Camry. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I did. This last time I got a car, I just got a car that I've always wanted, and I did that. But I wouldn't be mad going back to a Camry, if I'm being honest with y'all. I really wouldn't be mad. But anyway, see how my brain go left. So I don't know if they talked about double crossing Marvin and Rock when they were on the bus. I don't know if they talked about double crossing Rock And when they were, I don't know if it was when they saw Marvin and they didn't like that Marvin was, making fun of them, talking about some, oh, y'all boys from the farm. And he was like, ain't no farms in Memphis. And Marvin was like, oh, my bad. Like, I don't know at what point they decided to double cross them. I do not know. But what I do know is something was off the whole time. We saw Marvin like showing them where, Stefano lives, showing them where Stefano hangs out. Like something was off with it. And I'm gonna be honest, and I'm skip y'all saw the episode, so y'all, I'll skip around for a minute. Even at the moment when we saw a dude double crossing, I thought that was part of the setup. Because remember when Marvin said, if you're gonna swing, you better not miss. Like if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right. So when I saw, okay, I'm just going to the end. So the fat one who seemed like he was the ringleader, he double crossed. Now I'm assuming he killed the other two dudes that he was with, and then he tried to go to Stefano and basically let Stefano know, hey, Rock sent us to take you out, but I'm not taking you out. I'd rather make a deal with you. Now, I don't know if that was some old white boy shit, like some white power shit. Like, I don't know. But Stefano was like, oh, wow, thanks a lot. Here's your money. He was like, here, I'm paying you double what Rock paid you. And look, you don't even have to split it 3 ways. So that let me know that the other 2 dudes that he came there with was gone. But I'm going to tell y'all what I thought in that moment. I thought that was part of the setup. I thought that was their way of getting the bodyguard away from Stefano so they could walk up in the fish shop and get Stefano. I really thought that's what the setup was, right? Here's some other stuff that doesn't make sense to me. If y'all are hired killers, that's what y'all do. Y'all are hitmen. What made this situation to the point where you were willing to, one, take out your 2 partners and really F up your reputation for one payday? It didn't make sense to me. It just didn't make sense to me. And it still doesn't make sense to me. Like, I get it. We can make it a black and white thing, but you had to know they was black before you got there. You know what I'm saying? You had to know they was black before you got there. Oh, I didn't see that. Damn, did I miss that scene? I didn't see that happen. Universal Goddess, they showed that? I missed it. Damn. If they showed him taking out his partners, I missed that whole scene. How did I miss a scene? Did I go to the bathroom or something? Huh. Baby, I missed that whole scene. What the fuck is wrong? How did I do that? I must have usually when I have to get up and do something, I'll pause it so I don't miss nothing. How did I miss that? Y'all, I'm tripping right now. How did I miss such an important moment? Damn. I apologize to y'all. As your reviewer, I apologize that I missed such an important moment. I did not see it, y'all. I promise y'all I didn't see that. Unless the real hitman sent them as decoys. They could have not been the real hitman. Because again, it just didn't make sense to me that they were willing, that he was willing. Like, if this is how you make your money, you're a hired gun. It just didn't make sense to me. You know what else didn't make sense to me? You weren't smart enough to make sure that man wasn't behind you. When Stefano said he gonna take you out to the car, to the car, first of all, you should have never trusted that shit. You should have been like, nah, I got my own, I'm good. Why are you trusting Stefano to get you out of town? Like, I understand this was before the days of GPSs and all of that, but bruh, you can get to the bus station. You don't need his help getting you to the bus station. You can get directions to the bus station. Number 2, you're a hired hitman, but you don't know not to have that man behind you. That don't even make no sense to me. Nothing about that situation made sense to me. The fact that they were so quick to dog out Rock and Marvin, the fact that they were so quick, he was so quick to do it. I just didn't understand it. Like, if this is what you did, like the fact that you must have a reputation, the fact that Rock sent all the way to Memphis for you tells me that you have a reputation among the underworld, that you are reliable, you go in, you do your thing, you get out. It didn't make sense to me, y'all. And it still doesn't make sense to me. But I have to go back and go see that scene because I missed it. Y'all said it was quick. I honestly don't remember seeing it at all. I missed the whole fucking thing. I'm really mad at myself. And I used to watch the episode twice before I did my review. I would watch it once just to enjoy it, and then I would watch it again and take my notes. But when I started doing it live, I kind of stopped doing that because I just kind of would just, damn, how the fuck did I miss it? I'm mad at myself. Unless the real him and that Felicia, now that might be it. Maybe they weren't the real. What's up, DeMarcus? Maybe he wasn't the real hitman. Like, maybe, I don't know. It just didn't make sense. Exactly. Hitman won't betray their sponsor. It didn't make sense in this episode. Big Boy didn't look trustworthy to me with a big old cowboy hat. Excuse me. It just didn't make, it made absolutely no sense. Okay. Now, something else, another Easter egg that we missed. And this I forgot to talk about this part before we get into this conversation between Rock and Breeze. Remember when Rock said, when Marvin was asking Rock, like, where you get the money from? And she was like, I sold the strip mall. And Marvin was like, who bought that rundown piece of shit? And she was like, some dude from out of the country, and they paid more than it was worth. Now, two things about this. Either this means something that's going to come back later, because it's the second time, like when she was selling it, her real estate agent was like, hey, I got somebody from out of the country, that might be willing to let it go for cash. Boom, 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 boom. And then literally the next episode, it was paid off, right? I mean, it was sold. Or it could just be a nod to gentrification. Like, we know that around this time, white investors were moving into Harlem and moving into Queens and moving into these spaces and gentrifying those neighborhoods, right? So I'm not sure if this was just a nod to gentrification. Like, yeah, you see how they coming into these neighborhoods and they buying up the property, or if this is something that's going to circle back around later, because I don't know. It's power. You never really know. But I did peep that they brought it up twice. You know what I'm saying? Stefano flipping the cowboy Finn against Rock and Marvin and eliminate him was brilliant. But he didn't flip him. That's what I don't understand. Like, and DeMarcus, you watch all of this stuff, so maybe you can help me out, boo. The cowboy man flipped himself. Like, did we have again, maybe I missed that scene too. Was there a scene where somebody approached him, or did he do it on his own? He decided to double, like, did they, you see what I'm saying? Okay, wait a minute. Imagine if Flossie's father purchased the Southside Plaza, let gentrification begin. Listen, that's what I'm saying. DeMarcus, thank you for the super chat, boo. It's connected. It's power, y'all. And because I know, let me say this. Raising Kanan has what's the word I'm looking for? Raising Kanan has the freedom. Raising Kanan has the freedom to lay Easter eggs that we see later on. I told you guys before that the first couple of episodes of Raising Kanan, they were basically building the backstory and using OG power as their base. Like, we knew that they had to give us how Kanan became Kanan, who was Kanan, what was Kanan's backstory. They knew they had to talk about Breeze. Like, we spent the first 3 seasons trying to figure out who the fuck Breeze was going to be, right? They had to give us that, but they had to use power as their backdrop. So they were almost building the plane in reverse, right? But now, these last 2 seasons of Raising Kanan, knowing that there was going to be Origins, knowing that they were going to have a whole nother maybe 20 to 30 episodes to continue to lay the groundwork going into Power and then going into Legacy, which we now know we're going to get. Well, they've already filmed it, but we now know we've got they're filming Legacy, right? Now I feel like what we're seeing in last season and in this season, I feel like we're seeing a lot of Easter eggs that's going to take us into Origins. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So when I say, hey, they laid this groundwork. Hey, they laid this groundwork, because we may not see it in the next 4 episodes, but we know we've got a whole nother show that they can carry certain things into. You see what I'm saying? Okay, hold on. Let me see what DeMarcus said. You said that the Cowboys were dirty from the beginning. But that's what I'm saying. Were these the real hitmen, or were these somebody that got intercepted? Maybe, are y'all saying that Stefano intercepted the real hitman from the beginning? Like he intercepted it, like these dudes weren't even the real hitmen? Like when they got the call? See what I'm saying? Like that's what I don't understand. How, because if that was the real hitman, even if he got away, even if Stefano was on the up and up, paid him his money and let him go back to Memphis, your reputation is fucked. You'll never work again. So you ruined your whole business off of one hit? That didn't make sense to me. Now, if y'all are saying that those were never the real hitmen, okay, maybe. I can go with y'all on that one. But it didn't make sense that those were the real hitmen and they would be so willing to flip. You see what I'm saying? But if those were never the real hitmen, I got you. I got y'all on that one. I can believe that. That somewhere Stefano found out that the Memphis boys were coming and he intercepted the real ones. Now that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Yeah, because that's happening in real time, gentrification. They're just throwing everything in, like you said last week. No, the Cowboys were dirty. It was off screen that Stefano flipped the Cowboy against Rock and Marvin. See, so we're making an assumption, because if it wasn't on screen, then we don't really know. You see what I'm saying? Why not give us that scene? It could have been a phone call. It could have been a quick phone call. Like, you didn't have to make a whole moment out of it, but it could have been a phone call. But what y'all are saying makes sense. That maybe this was a setup before they even got to town. You know what I'm saying? Kanan was cool with Ghost eliminating Breeze because Breeze found out that DEFCON wasn't Kanan's father. Kanan wasn't cool with them eliminating Breeze. Who told what? DeMarcus, you know that. Kanan wasn't cool with that. Because remember, they got rid of Breeze and set him up. Kanan wasn't cool with that. And let me say this. I might have to go back and rewatch Origins. I mean, OG Power, because I have not gone back and rewatched. I have not gone back to rewatch. At one point, I said I was going, because I didn't start reviewing Power from the beginning. I feel like, right, Kanan loved Breeze. I feel like, I can't remember what season I started reviewing Power, but I really don't feel like I started from season 1. I don't think I did. I would have to go back and look. But I was thinking about going back to the beginning. Actually, I know I didn't, because I remember when I first started watching Power. I know I didn't watch it. I know I didn't review it. Power was one of those shows that me and my brother, I told y'all how me and my brother on Sundays would talk almost every Sunday, because we would talk about football. But that's the other thing me and my brother would talk about. We would talk about Power. Did we talk about Game of Thrones? But Power we definitely talked about. It was a couple of shows that me and my brother talked about. Power was definitely one of them. And I know I didn't review it from the beginning. I know I didn't. But I thought about going back and reviewing it like from the beginning, going back, kind of knowing what we know now, seeing how certain things have played out. But it would be hard to go back and review it from the beginning because we know too much now, you know? I just think that Big Boy went to Stefano, told him what the plan was so that he could get more money, knowing he was going to kill his partners all along. Yeah. I just feel like he ruined his, like, I don't know. I'm repeating myself now, but y'all understand what I'm saying. Now let's get to this conversation between. I should have rewatched this episode. I'm gonna tell y'all why. This conversation between Rock and Breeze is a totally different conversation once we get to the end of this episode. It's a totally different conversation. Ghost loved Breeze. Also, Kanan manipulated Ghost to eliminate Breeze, just like Breeze manipulated Kanan to eliminate Taz. Ghost loved Breeze. Right. So then why would you say that Kanan wasn't okay with Breeze, with them taking Breeze out? If you're saying he eliminated, like, you contradicting yourself now, DeMarcus. You said that Kanan wasn't okay with it, but now you're saying that Kanan manipulated Ghost to do it. Like, I think Kanan just never expected that Ghost and them would take him out. Like, he thought he was controlling the chessboard. But this conversation between Raquel and Breeze, it now has a totally different connotation to me. So let me start at the beginning. Raquel approaches Breeze for a conversation. It took me back to season 1, episode 1, when Rock and Neek, remember Rock and Neek had that conversation? Remember Rock had that fur on? And they was, or Neek, one of them had on a fur child. I think both of them had on furs. And they were outside talking, and Lou and Marvin was behind Rock, and Neek had his people behind him, and they was talking. Remember that? It took me back to that scene. And basically Rock was like, I just need to know, like I keep hearing your name on the street. I don't know who you are. You know, I don't know who the hell you are, nigga. So this takes me back. I don't know how Raquel doesn't know who Breeze is. Knowing how this episode ended, and we'll get there, how does Rock not know who Breeze is? I understand she might not know his street name, but I feel like the Thomas family ran them streets for so long, through those years that Breeze was growing up, DEFCON being in jail. I don't understand how you don't know who this boy is. But that's going to take me to a theory I have on the back end. Just keep that in mind, that after seeing the end of this episode, I'm looking at this conversation totally different. Now, Breeze knows who Rock is. Breeze absolutely knows who Rock is. But Rock is like, I don't know you. And they basically, have the let's see who's what is bigger conversation. Y'all know what I'm saying. Rock shouldn't have admitted to Breeze that it was her that knocked out the Corner Boys. And how you going to say they can't make money when she not dealing in that area? Miss Jocelyn, we're going to get to that. See, me and you on the same page, girl. Wait till we get to that. I'm going to get there. I feel like this was a conversation of Rock being a little delusional, her ego, right? Rock and her ego. But basically, she's basically telling Breeze, anything that happened on these streets, I need to know what's going on these streets. And Breeze was like, bruh, you don't have nothing to do with these streets anymore. You don't run these streets. You're not in these streets. You're not dealing in these streets. So whatever I do is really just between me and you. And then he said, that was you that took out my corner. Now, in that moment, I was a little surprised that Rock admitted that. I was a little shocked that Rock admitted that it was her. But in all reality, who else would it have been? Like, I probably wouldn't have admitted it, because in the back of Breeze's mind, he really wasn't sure if it was you or it was Neek. Now, the longer Neek stays away, the less they probably feel like Neek is doing anything, but they still are not 100% sure. And remember last week, Pops told Breeze, don't sleep on Neek. Don't eliminate him. Don't automatically assume that he don't have nothing to do with it. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself, right? So I wasn't really sure why she admitted that it was her, but she did. And basically, like I said, basically it was a pissing contest. I mean, it was a face-to-face, so Rock knows what Breeze looks like, knows who he is. Breeze had his little moment with Rock, and that's pretty much what it is. I mean, he said the same old, same old. You washed up, you're not in these streets no more. You know, you stay over there where you are, and I'm still over here where I am. You know, that kind of thing. But I just thought it was interesting based on the revelation we get at the end of the episode. That conversation is just different to me now. Y'all, this drink was not good. I'm still drinking it because I'm thirsty. But this was I decided to get one of them little refresher drinks from Dunkin' Donuts today. And this I think what I don't like is that it's zero. Like it's no sugar. So it's got like that aftertaste to it. But I got like the foam top to it to give me a little sugar taste to it. That's why it's white. But this was like blackberry and something, mango or something like that. I don't know why I'm drinking it. I'm drinking it because I forgot to go get some water before I started going live. Y'all know I need something to drink while I'm talking. Anyway, so what's his name? Kanan and his crew, they snap up one of the hookers. I'm sorry, one of the ladies. As she's on her way to a delivery, they kidnap her. They make her make the delivery, and then they end up they make her give her client a bad dose, right? So he ends up dying. When my free drink was still, I don't know what that means. I was done with Dunkin' when my free drink was still. I don't know what that means. It was nasty. Oh, yeah. Now I've had their pineapple fresher was so good. That's what I should have just got. But I tried something different. I don't like it. But she ends up taking the product to the client. The client dies. And come to find out, he's a federal judge. They have to bring Flossie in, Rock, and Marvel. Actually, the hooker goes to Rock first. And she tells Rock what happened because Kanan, of course, gave Rock a message and was like, tell her Kanan did it. So Rock knows it was Kanan. Rock knows it was the whole setup, right? And she tells old girl, like, don't tell Flossie. This between me and you. Don't you say nothing. Because Rock already know if Flossie find out, number one, that's the end of their partnership. And it might be the end of her, right? They have the conversation with Flossie, and Flossie is keeping it cool, but baby Flossie, like when people keep it cool like that, those are the people you be nervous about. Like those are the ones that you really are nervous about. Like she is being a little too cool about this situation. And she was like, now Rock actually brought up a good point. Rock was like, look, because Flossie was like, he's a federal judge. People are going to be asking questions. This is going to bring heat that I don't want. Rock actually brought up a good point. Rock was like, this dude was found butt naked with his nose in a mirror with some bloat on it. They're going to want to keep this quiet. Like, they're not going to do no full-blown investigation. They're going to want this to go away because they don't want it to come out that this man was getting high while he was on the bench. It could open up a whole lot of, you know, like a whole can of worms. So from that perspective, Rock wasn't wrong, but Flossie definitely got her eye on them, and Flossie is definitely like, okay, I think in her mind, she's like, strike one. And I don't think she's going to get him 3 strikes. Kanan, Robin, Kristen, and making Judge Baker take his overdose on that Cinder Williams product. I think Rock is underestimating Flossie. I absolutely believe that she's underestimating Flossie. Absolutely. I absolutely think she is absolutely underestimating her. Absolutely underestimating her. Y'all, I'm sorry. Bell Collective is I'm pushing Bell Collective back. It's still set for 2:45, but we get over there when we get over there, child. Sorry. For my Bell Collective people, sorry. We're gonna be late because I gotta finish this out. I should have known Power was gonna take me more than an hour. But anyway. So we're almost done, though. We're almost done. Because we already talked about the conversation. Oh, I just saw it, y'all. I just saw it. because I have the episode playing in the background. I just sort of seen where they're getting in the car and he shoots them. Damn, I had missed that. How the fuck did I miss that scene? Damn. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how I missed it. But anyway, so because it was in between when Kanan kidnapped the girl and when Rock had the conversation with the girl. We already talked about him going to Stefano, trying to get the money. We already talked about Marvin in the conversation with Jukebox. So then we see Kanan roll up on Taz. I don't understand. Taz, you knew what was happening. You knew what was coming. You knew that Breeze was setting y'all up. So I didn't understand why you wasn't ready for this. There's absolutely no reason in the world. Like, you had two choices in this situation, Taz. Either you could have met Kanan with some, look, you know Breeze is playing us against each other. So we either need to figure out a way to work together or figure out a way to get this nigga out. Or you shouldn't have been doing none of that talking and you should have just took Kanan out. Like, I didn't understand you talking shit all the while knowing that Breeze is playing y'all and Breeze is manipulating the situation and you wasn't ready for the, like, I didn't, again, the writing is starting to piss me off. This writing is starting to take me back to Power Book 2 because this didn't make any sense to me. Sir, you should have been ready for this. And if we knew that Taz don't live, right? Got it. Y'all gonna take Taz out. I got it. Then it shouldn't have even been all of this dialogue because I didn't understand him being so nasty to Kanan. Like, either you gonna try to talk to him and say, look, you know this dude is playing us. But you talk about something, you ain't shit, and blah, 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 and what you gonna do? And then you gonna turn your back. What is up with these gangsters turning their back on people? Why are you turning your back on Kanan? You know Kanan is there to take you out. At the very least, Kanan is there to whoop your ass. At the very least, he's there to whoop your ass. At the most, you know he there to take you out. Why are you turning your back on him while you're talking shit? It makes no sense to me. He was absolutely jealous of Kanan, but when he said to Kanan, you know I wasn't short. You know Breeze is setting us up. Like, you had figured out what was happening, so either you're going to try to flip Kanan or you're going to be ready to take Kanan out. Like, there's no in-between to this. That's what I'm saying. Y'all see what I'm saying? I didn't understand how he was playing this. Like, how did you think this was going to end, Taz? You talking shit to Kanan and then turning your back on him. You knew he was there to kill you. I didn't understand what he thought was getting ready to happen. Am I tripping? You may have glanced at your phone. Happens to me all the time. Maybe that's what I did, Nubian, because it was a quick scene, child. Maybe I did look down, or like I said, I got up to get some water or something. I usually pause it, but maybe I forgot, child. I can't believe I missed it. Anyway, Taz was telling Kanan the truth, and Kanan couldn't handle the truth. He was jealous of Kanan. The writers had to water down Taz for Kanan to eliminate. But here's the thing. I hear what y'all are saying, but the point I'm making is, why would y'all write the scene that way? Like, either Taz is going to be like, Kanan, you could have wrote this again. The scene could have went left or right, but y'all, it's like y'all combined them. Either, because Taz is waiting for Kanan. So either you write it and say, let's have Taz sitting there, and when Kanan get in there, be like, look, I know Breeze sent you. You know he playing us, right? I wasn't short. He been pushing me out for you because he want me to react. He been letting me, and I did. You could have and he could have been like, and I did. I reacted. I did. I let my emotions get the best of me, but I've been thinking. This is the play. Boom, boom, bam. The play is wada, wada, woo. So what we gonna do, Kanan? Or that's scene A. Scene B is, all right, I'm going to talk shit. I'm still okay with them taking Taz out because we already knew we knew the setup 3 episodes ago. I'm surprised he's still around. Like, I don't even understand how Taz is still with us. So we knew what the setup was from the word go. We knew what the setup was. Got it. But it just was a weird scene. Because again, I didn't understand what he thought was going to happen. Now, then we see, I guess Kanan called Breeze, and they're cleaning up the situation. And this takes us back to this takes us to Power Book 1. Because remember, what did Ghost always do with bodies he needed to get rid of? He burned them, right? So this takes us back to, and remember, that was one of the first lessons that Tasha taught, her son was cleaning up behind himself and burning everything, right? So it's sort of that, again, it's that Easter egg in that moment of him teaching Kanan how to get rid of a body and then what to do with the body when you're done. So there's that. And while they're talking, Breeze, Kanan says, it's a thin line between being on this side of the fire, being here and being in there. And Breeze was like, you ain't never going to be in that fire, Kanan. And Kanan was like, no, he said, you don't have to be afraid of it. And Kanan was like, I ain't afraid. I'm just acknowledging, like, it's a thin line. And he was like, well, Taz ain't you. He was like, yeah, but Taz was your man. And now he in the fire. And that's when Breeze tells him, look, you ain't Taz. You ever met DEF CON? You ever met he said, have you ever met your father? Now, what's funny is it would have been interesting to see how Kanan would have answered that had he not said anything. Because remember, the world still thinks that DEF CON is Kanan's father. But of course, we know that ain't his real daddy. And yeah, he knew his daddy, So he was like DEF CON. And Kanan was like, nah, I never met him. And Breeze was like, I did. DEF CON is my daddy too. Baby, the way my mouth fell open. The way my mouth fell open. I said, first of all, how much older is Breeze than Kanan? That's why I said ain't nowhere in the world that Rock didn't know who Breeze was. Now, again, I got it. Breeze ain't his government name, so she may not be connecting Breeze with the baby that DEF CON already had. But if you was fucking around with DEF CON, and we're going to get to that in a second. We already know what the situation was. But if you was cool enough with DEF CON that you put yourself in a situation to be his beard, you had to know he had another child running around. Y'all all lived in the same, like, it's y'all were all in that area together. Like, you had to know he had another child. But taking that out of the equation, Breeze is 4 years older than Kanan. Right. So that's a baby. Like, hello. But we're going to come back to that in a second. Let me finish up the episode and then we're going to come back because I got some theories. Yes, Nubian, we're going to get there. Let me just finish this out real quick. So they back at the bar and Marvin gets a delivery. Marvin and Rock have a moment where Marvin is basically reminding Rock, look, we all we got. Is nobody left but us. Like, Kanan don't fuck with us. Juke is whatever Juke is, and our parents are gone. It's just us. And she brought up the whole Stefano thing, and he was like, he said, look, Stefano used me to try to create a wedge between the two of us. And I mean, I guess he acknowledged that he was dumb and letting it happen, but he was like, but at the end of the day, I would never betray you. Like, I would never, like we got to stick together because we all we got, kind of thing. So what if DEF CON didn't know about Breeze? Well, we're about to get into that. That's a good theory too, Universal Goddess. That's a really good theory. That's a really good thing. You asked me how I rated this episode. I'm gonna give this episode like a 9. Some of the scenes I thought were crazy. Like I didn't like the hitman situation. I feel like they could have just given us one conversation to make that make sense. They could have given us a phone call. They could have given us a little bit more dialogue between Stefano and the hit guy, the hitman, the cowboy hat guy. They could have given us just a little bit more with that. And then there was a few things with the writing that I was like, ugh, but I think they dropped some good shit that made me be like, oh, okay. Like, so I would give it like a 9, you know? When Rock said that Defcon was left-handed, that was her saying he was gay. So they get a delivery at the club, and it's the cowboy hat with the blood on it and the bullet through it. You said people will assume that Breeze is left-handed also. I don't think so. Just because your daddy gay don't mean you gay. I don't think that would. Thank you for the super chat, but I don't think that would do it. Now, or you, I don't know, DeMarcus. Maybe you're right. Maybe that she was literally saying he was left-handed, because I don't remember. You remember a lot more of those type of things than I do. But I thought that was her way of saying he was gay when she said he was left-handed. I thought we talked about that. But again, that's season 1, so I had to refresh my memory. But so they know that the hitman failed, and they know that Stefano knows about it. So they know they're in trouble. Like, they know they done fucked up. Now, next week's episode looks like it's going to be action-packed from the previews. But let's get back to this Breeze, Defcon, Kanan situation. So let's call a thing a thing. Breeze, Defcon was gay. We know, going back to season 1, that Defcon was not Kanan's daddy, and that Defcon sort of paid Rock to be his beard because Rock had gotten pregnant by the cop. She was an informant, which I really wish we would have gotten more information on. That's why we need a prequel. I need to know how Rock became an informant. The same way we want to know how Jukebox became a cop in DC. I want to know how Rock became an informant at 15 years old for a grown-ass man that she was sleeping with. Okay, let's talk about it. So what doesn't make sense to me is if Defcon already had a baby out here, why would he need Rock to be his beard to sort of keep his street cred straight if he already had a whole baby running around? That doesn't make sense to me. The left-hand comment definitely meant he was gay. Right, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. Now, what if Breeze isn't really Defcon's son? Listen, we going, Christopher, let me finish reading your comment. What if Breeze isn't really Defcon's son? What if Breeze's mother knew that Defcon was gay and also pretended to be Defcon's beard? Right. Y'all ready for my theory? Y'all ready? I do not believe that Defcon is Breeze's daddy. I don't. Absolutely not. I think we got the same situation going on. I think that somebody said that was, and he went along with it because, again, it's giving him the street cred. It's giving him the cover. Y'all know who I think Breeze's mama is, though? I think Snaps is Breeze's mama. I think we're having a Monet storyline where Snaps got pregnant, but she didn't raise him. Think about how Snaps talks about Breeze. My nephew this and my nephew that. Think about how she talks about him. And we know that Power loves to recycle a storyline. We know that in every Power we got a dirty cop. In every Power we got, like, we know they love to recycle. What's up, Jay? But they love to recycle these storylines. They love to recycle these storylines. I think that Snaps is really Breeze's mama, and I think that whoever he thinks his mother is, I think that's the story they told him. Now, the fact that he said he knew Defcon, that again, because some of y'all in the chat are saying he could be lying. He could be lying. He could absolutely be lying to Kanan, and maybe this was a whole setup from the beginning. Maybe Snaps and Pops came up with this whole story from the beginning. But if y'all go back, not Crackle, if y'all go back, Snack, Crapple, and Pop. Snaps, Crackle, and Pop. But if y'all go back to that season with Ronnie, when we first really got to know Snaps and Pops real good, y'all remember they were a little bit scared of Rock. Remember, if y'all go back to the beginning, they were very nervous about fucking with Rock. Y'all remember that? I know you remember that, DeMarcus. They were real nervous about fucking with Rock. That's number one. Number two, remember Ronnie hated Rock. So that lets you know that there's a history there. Now, that's why I keep telling y'all we need a prequel to the prequel. We need Snaps and Pops origin story. And we need to see how the Thomas family rose up, how they really was running them streets. Rock, when she was the informant, messing with Def. Like, we need a prequel to the prequel. I'm serious, y'all. We need a Snaps and Pops story. I feel like we really, really, really do. Because there was already something there between Rock, Snaps and Pops, and Rock and Ronnie. Now, some of y'all, the theory was that Ronnie and Defcon were lovers. I know some of y'all said that y'all felt like Ronnie, was left-handed as well. And maybe him and Defcon had something. And that's how Ronnie knew that Kanan was like, those were the theories. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Those aren't crazy theories. Those are legit theories that could really be real. Those are legit theories, y'all. I'm with y'all. But I feel like we need a prequel because we really need to dig into it. We really need to... Rock told Snaps and Pops, it's not always about being first. It's about the ones who turn off the lights. Well, now, either Snaps and Pops, like you said, are manipulating Kanan from the door, and this is all part of the plan to manipulate Kanan, or somebody is lying to Breeze, and Breeze really does think Defcon is his daddy. But I think, I'm going to be honest, because I told y'all I don't think Snaps makes it out of this. I think Snaps is going to die. I do not think Snaps makes it out of this situation. And think about it. It's a whole lot of people that have, if they find out, let's say she really is Breeze's mama and that comes out. Let's say they find out that she really took Crystal out. Let's say they find out that they were the ones that really were behind Famous being gone. Like, there are a lot of different ways that this could go if information gets told, right? Rock told Snaps and Pop. Oh, I just read that one. Ronnie wasn't left-handed. He was asexual. DeMarcus, you digging too deep. Wasn't nobody asexual in 1992. Wasn't nobody identifying as asexual in 1992. I don't think it's a crazy storyline if they have written. See, I feel like they wasted so much potential with Ronnie's character. They wasted so much potential with Ronnie's character. I really feel like they could have given us that storyline. And then maybe Ronnie could have been blackmailing Rock. Like, look, I know that that's not Kanan daddy. You know how I know that ain't Kanan daddy? Because he was my man. Like, they could have done so much with that storyline. And I just feel like they wasted Ronnie. They really, really wasted Ronnie. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Street profiler really is the equivalent of the Criminal Minds profiler. I don't do that. That's a good theory, collaboration. I believe that Garcia will arrest Pop for the death of Famous and Crystal. Kanan will eliminate Snaps, though. Interesting. It's interesting. So I think for the purposes of pushing the story along, I think it was a good episode. I'm side-eyeing some of the writing. I was side-eyeing some of the writing last week. I'm side-eyeing some of the writing this week. Now, y'all know that Raising Kanan is my favorite out of the sequels, out of all of the sequels in the Power universe. Raising Kanan is my favorite. And part of the reason is because I always thought the writing was pretty good. Like, y'all know I hated the writing on book 2 and book 3. I never even finished book 3. Like when I tell y'all I never even finished watching the series, I'm in my DVR. I still have like 7 episodes of Force. I couldn't even finish watching it. It was just terrible. I just thought it was terrible. I just thought it was a terrible show. And y'all know I struggle. I think I reviewed the first 2 seasons and I struggled reviewing them. I struggled through them. I enjoy reviewing Raising Kanan. You know what I mean? And even though I thought book 2 was stupid, I didn't have a problem reviewing it. But book 3, I just couldn't get through Force. I tapped out. I couldn't do it. But I'm excited to see who they got in the pool next week. And I think we got some stuff happening next week. So anyway, that's why they started messing with Kanan. They need to flush it out. We only have 4 episodes left. But Candy, I'm gonna be honest with you, because we have origins, I don't think some stuff ain't gonna get flushed out. Some stuff they're just gonna carry over. Some stuff I think they're purposely setting up to carry over. But we'll see. We only have 3 more episodes, right? That was episode 4, so we have 4 more episodes. So we'll see what they give us in the next 4 episodes. With that being said, y'all, I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to go do Bell Collective. So meet me over on the Bell Collective side. I'm already late, child. I'm 15 minutes late doing Bell Collective, but that's okay because I should have done Bell Collective first and did Raising Kanan, but it's whatever. But meet me over there. The redirect is on, but y'all know how that goes too. Thank you, Universe Soul Goddess. Meet me. I'm literally going right. I'm ending this and I'm going right into it. So meet me over there in about 5 minutes. All right. Mwah. Peace.